Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May. Welcome to Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach, lash educator, and social media manager for salons and beauty businesses. I'm so happy that you're here. Let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. Welcome to this week's episode of Lash Biz Babes. My name is Erica. I'm your host, and this week we're going to be talking about why content creation might feel hard for you and what you can do about it. Because I feel like once we can self-reflect a little bit and kind of figure out why does this feel so hard, then we can do something to change that and then make it a lot easier for ourselves. Because truly, social media and content creation is such a huge part of how you can grow your business. I don't feel like social media is the end-all be-all. There are a lot of other ways to grow your business. But in today's digital day and age, I do feel like a well set up, well-established social media presence is a huge asset to your business. And if you don't have that, you're missing out on clients and potential money to be made in your business. Even if you're not active on it, I still feel like, keeping up with it, keeping it updated is an important thing. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, because a lot of people find it hard and they don't enjoy it. So how do we make that better? How can we make that better for you? I actually taught about this at a social media class I recently did at a salon in the Boise area. So my hairstylist reached out and asked me if I would teach a class at her salon for her team, and then was like, well, let's open it up. And we ended up doing this free social media class for the community, and we had a packed room. We had every seat full, and I taught on social media. One of her other salon stylists ended up teaching on photos and videos for your beauty business. And then she had one of our other stylists that has her own product line, and she did a demo with the products. It was a huge success and the class went really well. And I just feel like this one portion of what I taught really resonated with the audience. A lot of people were shaking their heads and agreeing and just really seemed to resonate with them. So I thought, why don't we just bring that portion to the podcast? Because if it was helpful for them that much, because I got so much good feedback on the presentation, then it would be helpful for you here too. Before we jump into that, I just wanted to throw out a quick reminder that I am going to be teaching a class at Premier San Antonio. The show is on September 28th and 29th in San Antonio. My class is on September 28th at 4 p.m. I think it's in room 212B. If I can remember that off the top of my head correctly, that's the room it's in. But definitely double check the event calendar just to make sure if you are going to be attending. But yeah, if you're local to Texas, you want to come take a trip to go to a conference, this is a really great one. I would say this is more so like a trade show with education at it, though. I feel like there's different event formats. Like when you go to LashCon, there's a lot of parties and networking and conference stuff. This one is more really trade show focused. So it's a huge trade show, tons of different brands across aesthetics, hair, nails, skincare, lashes, and then there's also education at it, and a lot of education at it. So it's a great event, especially if you offer more services than just lash extensions, because you can go meet brands and get education around a ton of different services and sectors of the industry. I will be teaching a class on content strategy for social media. I'm really excited about this. If you are going to be at the show, definitely come say hi. I would love to see you at the class and get to meet you. I'm going to have all the information for it, including the ticket link in the show notes below. All of that being said, let's jump into it today. So, why does content feel hard? Because, like I was saying earlier, if content feels hard for you, it's not going to be something that you want to show up and do. And it's going to be something you want to avoid, even though, like in your brain, you know it can be something that can help grow your business. Now, I just want to start this out by saying when I started out as a lash artist in 2014, I had no idea what I was doing when it came to growing a business. And social media was kind of really in its big rise. It was, Instagram was still somewhat new within the last few years, or at least new to me. And people weren't really using social media platforms to grow their businesses quite yet. Well, they were, but I just feel like it's a lot more prevalent now than it was back then. Anyway, all of this to say, I didn't know what I was doing, but I did know that I loved social media. And that is eventually what helped me to be able to grow my business, because I was just this little baby lash artist who really wanted to do lashes, who really wanted to stay home with her son. I had one baby at the time, and I just really wanted to stay home with him and lash. And what helped me to be able to do that was social media. And since then, what's helped me to be able to grow the podcast, to do coaching, to teach classes and trainings and sell out lash trainings, and be able to grow our now social media management business has been social media. That has been the vehicle, if you will, that has gotten me from point A to point B of growing my business. I wouldn't say it's the only thing that's helped me grow, but it's definitely played a really huge role in my growth, in my business growth as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. And I'm really thankful for it. And I recognize the power of what social media can do for you. And that's why I feel like we need to make it like a healthy place to show up and something that doesn't feel so hard for you to do, because it truly can help you grow when you are using it correctly. And it doesn't always have to feel hard. It doesn't have to feel like a place that you don't want to show up. So, reasons why it might feel hard for you. First and foremost, you haven't established who you are as a brand. And I don't just mean your logo or your aesthetics, your grid pattern, but I mean actually your brand messaging. What do you want to be known for? What are your values? What's your mission statement? Like, what do you want other people to know you as, right? And how are you conveying all the great things that you do and the highlights why people are going to love coming to you? How are you conveying all that in your messaging and like in your captions on social media and in your copy on your website, things like that? You don't know who you are. You don't know how you want to be perceived. You don't know how you want to market yourself messaging wise. So that makes it really hard to create content out of, because when you're really, really clear on those things, you're going to be able to create content out of that so easily. And anytime you're like, well, what can I post? What should I post about? I need to get content, whatever. You can always pull from those core parts of the messaging that you decide. So if you aren't sure on that, I do have a couple different episodes throughout this year on it. You can go back and listen to those. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but next reason, and this one really seemed to resonate with the audience when I taught about this, is that you're nervous to fully show up as yourself online. You're feeling imposter syndrome, fear of judgment, or lack of confidence, those kinds of things. I feel like this is especially prevalent when you aren't sure who you are or what you want to be known for. So when you're more clear on number one, it makes number two easier, because you know who you are and you know what you have to offer and you're not afraid to talk about those things. And I think a lot of this too is like, okay, what's more important? The judgment from other people that probably will come at some point as you grow your business or as you go after your dreams, your goals, or is reaching those goals and the benefits that you can have from that more important? Because when I think about it in that perspective, it really helps me to realize that, like, okay, I might get judged for this, but like, does that really affect my life or my business at all, right? Like, okay, great. That's fine. Like, it doesn't change who I am. It doesn't change like the results that I can get. It doesn't change my ability to grow my business. The only way that someone's judgment or projections or rudeness onto you can hold you back is if you let it hold you back. Think about that for a second. The only way someone judging you or being mean to you or saying something rude about you or your business can hold you back is if you allow it to, because it does not have to have that power over you, and it doesn't get to have that power over you. So really, truly get clear on who you are and what you want to be known for. And even if someone does judge you, don't let that hold you back, which I know can be easier said than done. But like, I remember when I had someone from high school liking hate comments on a reel I had one time. And what did it matter? I'm never going to see her again. It doesn't affect my life. It's like, okay, it happened. And now what? Like, okay, great. I keep doing the same thing. I keep living my life and it doesn't have any effect on me. And I know not every situation is like that. You might get judgment or rude comments from close family members or friends, but at the end of the day, they can have their opinions and you can still go out and grow your business. So I hope that you will get out there and go for it and know that your dreams and your goals and the financial freedom and time flexibility and being your own boss and all the great benefits that can come for that are more important than what other people might have to say or not. And I feel like specifically for imposter syndrome, when you are clear on who you are, it's a lot harder to feel like an imposter because you are confident in your lived experiences and what you've learned from that. So just some food for thought on that specifically. The next one is that you're lacking content systems or processes and you're just trying to wing it day to day and hope for the best. And this kind of ties into the last one as well, that like you're not scheduling out time on your schedule for this. So these two things are really important. Schedule out that time and find a process or system that works the best for you. Because when you do have that in place, it's not going to get looked over. It's not going to fall through the cracks. You're going to be able to get everything done that you need to. And it feels a lot less overwhelming when you do have like, this is how I do this. It's just like any other process or system in your business, right? You're scheduling out the time for it and it makes it so much easier for you. And I lied. The last one is that you're too focused on vanity metrics that don't convert. So you're getting on social media, you're really worried about how many followers you have, how many likes or comments or views you're getting. And those things don't actually convert necessarily into clients. And they're not necessarily metrics that are going to help you grow your business just because you're worried about them. Now, if you were like an influencer trying to get into the creator fund or Amazon storefront or, all the things like that, that might be a little bit different. Your follower count, your engagement count, views, comments, things like that might matter more. But you're a service-based business trying to reach people in your local area. So those metrics aren't necessarily the ones that you need to focus on when it comes to what's working for you on social media or not. So the last thing I wanted to talk about too was just like what to worry about and what not to worry about on social media. So the first one, what to worry about. How many local followers do you have on your pages? So it's not about how many followers you have, it's about how many local ones there are to you, because those are who can actually book with you. I've had students with like 20,000 plus followers who really struggled to build their clientele because it wasn't the right people following them who could actually book an appointment with them versus students who had like maybe 300 to 500 followers and they were really easily able to build their clientele because they were local to them. And I'm not saying that just because you have a lot of followers doesn't mean you can't book clients. You definitely can, but it's just a matter of who is following you. Is it people who can actually book or buy with you? So the second thing is to focus on the number of click-throughs to your profile from individual posts. So you can go to an individual post on Instagram, look at view insights, and see how many people click through to your profile on that one. So that's an important metric to know because that tells you what content you're creating that got someone to stop their scroll, read the post, and then click through to your profile. That's a conversion metric that we want to know so we know what's working as far as content goes. Another thing to look at is the number of profile views you get versus the number of clicks to your website. So when you do the math on this is your conversion percentage. So that's how many people are looking at your profile versus how many people are clicking on it. So that's really good conversion. Your content worked, your profile set up well, they clicked through to your website and have the potential to book or buy from you now. So that's a percentage that you want to know and like focus on getting that up. And then the last thing of what to worry about is getting found in local searches on any platform. So using keywords and correct hashtags. So if you use a hashtag like hashtag classic lashes, that gets like millions of posts under it, and no one local to you who can actually book an appointment with you is going to find you under a general hashtag like that. So the only reason I would maybe use some of those is to get your post in the right algorithm, but even then it's still just not beneficial to you. I think using keywords as hashtags will be way more beneficial. So that's like, what are they actually searching in the search bar to find a business like yours in your area? So typically that's associated with a location and a service name. So say Boise, classic lashes might be a better hashtag to use if, just using the same example, because like that's the area that I live in, and then that would be the service name. That's more of what they might be typing into the search bar. So those are the words and hashtags that you want to be using in your captions and your hashtags in your posts across any platform, so that you can get found in those searches, because people who have already decided to get the service done are searching for a service provider, right? They've already decided to get it done. Now they're just looking for someone to book with. So if you can get found in those searches, your odds of getting booked are going to go up a lot higher. It's a very high conversion percentage typically. So the last thing we're going to talk about is what not to worry about on social media. And the first one there is going viral with your posts. Again, you're not an influencer. If you are trying to be an influencer, that's great. Maybe you need to worry about that a little bit more. But if you're trying to grow your service-based business, you don't need to worry about going viral to be able to get that to happen. Virality doesn't necessarily equal clients booking with you. And typically it actually reaches people who are not your target audience. And then that's when I've gotten like hate comments or different things like that, which there's nothing wrong with going viral, but I just don't think it should be a goal of yours. And in fact, it's a very low goal of ours priority wise for our social media management clients, depending on what their goals are, because they don't need to go viral to grow their business on social media. And as an example of this, with that free class that I did in the Boise area, I did a TikTok video on it that did really well. It didn't go viral, but it got a few thousand views and it filled up the entire class. So that helped me reach my end goal without needing to go viral. So that's just a little example. The next thing is vanity metrics. We've kind of already talked about this. You don't need tons of followers, likes, or comments to be able to grow your beauty business. You need local people seeing your content, finding you, knowing your business exists, knowing how to book with you, things like that. The next thing, don't worry about what your competitor's doing online, because how do you know what they're doing is even working for them? Especially back when I first started, it was kind of a popular thing to like copy or imitate, or like, oh, this is what's popular to do, so I'm going to do it the same way everyone else is doing it on social media. And that's not a great strategy, because how do you know what's working? And not only that, but like for me, I will personally mute or unfollow accounts who I'm like feeling comparison towards. And it's not necessarily that their content is bad or I don't support them, but like I'm getting in my own head. So I just need to stay in my own lane and put my blinders on and focus on what I'm focused on. So if seeing your competitors' social media pages makes you feel some type of way, don't feel bad for muting them or not following them. And for me, it's like I support my people, I love my people, but I still have to just focus on who I'm serving and what I'm doing, because I don't need to get on social media and feel that comparison or the imposter syndrome or all of that every day. Because if I did that and I felt that way every day, it's not going to make me want to show up on social media, and it's not going to make me want to grow my business. So the last thing that we're going to talk about with what not to worry about is posting a mass amount of content every day or week. I feel like quality over quantity beats every time. And I've heard this phrase that, well, like if you were doing like exercises and like you have to do a lot of the exercise to get it right, and so it's a lot of reps and practice to get the quality right, which I can totally see that, the more you do it, the more you practice, the better that you'll get at your content. And I can totally see that. But I do think that just mass posting a bunch of low quality content isn't going to help you grow your business. And it's not going to help you reach your end goal just because you posted a bunch of things. So I do think there needs to at least be some level of quality present for your content. You don't necessarily need to be posting a ton of content every day, because I see in Lash Facebook groups all the time where people are like, you have to post 3-5 times a day. You don't need to do that. For me and for our clients, we're posting 3 to 5 times a week, depending on who they are, what their goals are, and like what package they chose. But still, like, I feel like that's plenty enough, and stick to something consistent is more important in my eyes, because if you can't keep up with 5 to 7 posts a week, then don't try to commit to that to begin with. Figure out what is sustainable for you and what you can stick with, and go with that and run with it, because I feel like the algorithm rewards consistency more than mass quantity, in my opinion. So just to kind of wrap things up, I think it's important for you to do some self-reflection if social media and content is feeling hard for you, and kind of pinpoint why is it feeling hard. Like when you think about that topic, what thoughts come to mind for you? What resistance are you feeling towards that? Because recognizing that and having self-reflection on that is the key to being able to overcome it and change and update things so that you can make it easier for yourself. You can make it more sustainable for yourself. You can make it a place that you really actually want to show up on. because the results that you can get from social media are literally insane. Like, people are making so much money and growing their businesses so much from social media that I just feel like it's something you can't just totally skip out on anymore. And that's just my opinion. Other people, you can still grow your business without social media, but I feel like it is truly such a great way to grow and a great place to be, especially to connect with people in your area. So I hope that this was helpful for you and maybe got you thinking about some different ways to make social media easier for you, to make it a place that you want to show up on, to make it a healthier relationship for you. Because if you don't have a healthy relationship with social media, you're not going to want to show up on it. And like I was saying, I truly believe in the power of social media to be able to grow your business, because it's truly what has helped me so much in my journey and being able to grow to where I'm at today. Thank you so much for listening this week. If you liked the episode, definitely go leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts at, so we can help reach more beauty business owners and help them grow their businesses. And make sure you're subscribed so you can get notified when new episodes go live every Tuesday. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next week.